a person makes time for anything that they find is important, right? If, Leilenu, a person had somebody that they knew that was very sick, they would find time not just to daven, they would take off of work to go visit that person in the hospital, make medical appointments, take them to doctors. A person would find time to do that. You'd get up early, you wouldn't sleep. Chas v'shalom, somebody's baby rolls out of the crib in the middle of the night, you hear a thump. Does anybody sit there and go like, I just really just don't really, like right now, just not really an opportune time for this, you know? No. You don't do that. It's like, not even a question, right? I once spoke about this in a share. I sometimes think like if I post a share on TorahAnytime, like I can't repeat it because everybody knows this already, but I'll just assume for a minute that you don't know this idea. The idea of Nasa v'nishma, which we've spoken about in the past, is Nasa v'nishma means I'm doing it. I'm not thinking. I'm not handling. It's as if a baby, chas v'shalom, should all be well, gesund, falls out of the crib in the middle of the night. Nobody thinks. Nobody stops and like handles with their spouse whose turn it is to get up in the middle of the night. You fly. The adrenaline just pulls you out of bed. Nasa v'nishma is an expression of I have no physical limitations. If you look in the medrash over there, it says Mi gila razel labanai. Who revealed this secret to my children, to Klal Yisrael? Shemalache hashares mishtamshim bay, that the angels use, that the malachim use. What does that mean? The malachim, they have a mission and they do it. They have no physical limitations. They're not tired. They don't need to eat. They don't need to stop. They don't need to rest. The malachim just do whatever they need to do because that's their mission. If a person got up in the morning and said, yes, I can daven. I'll get up 15 minutes earlier. I'll push myself. Yes, I can do chesed. You can always do things that are important to you. If your father was on the side of the highway, on the side of the road, hitching when you were driving, I guarantee you, you'll figure out how to make your schedule work that you can take your father to his destination. I guarantee you, 100%. So why is it that we don't, when some yeshiva bacher, I'm not telling you to pick up yeshiva bacher, I'm just saying, when it's a girl who's, when it's a girl who's standing on the side of the highway, right? Why is it that then it's much harder? I don't know this guy. I don't know. I don't have time. We're speaking then. We're not even nishma. We're not even listening. We're just talking at that point. We're talking and we're, as they would say in Yiddish, like, we're redzing, like we're like convincing ourselves why right now I don't have to do this. We're convincing ourselves. Right now I don't have to do this. Why not? I don't know where he's going. He's late anyways to wherever he's going. If you really need to go there, let him get a car. Let him get a car. It's like, what do you want from me? Right? I'm busy. I'm very important. I have a lot of things going on. Okay, fine. Now it's your father. Your father's standing there. You're still going to say the same spiel? You'd be like, what do you mean? It's a question? Yeah, my father has to go somewhere. I have to cancel. Now, again, I'm not telling you to cancel your whole life and drive around Lakewood picking people up. But on a small level, for somebody to not be able to find 15 minutes to daven, or to say something to Tehillim, or to do some chesed for somebody, but we find time for so many other things. I challenge anybody who has a smartphone. There are apps where you can track your usage of apps on your phone. It's called like let's say you have an Android. It's called Samsung Health. I think that's what it's called, right? And you can like see, I'm sure Apple has the same thing, okay? Where you can like see how long you spend on certain apps. Go look at that one day and tell me that you don't have time for anything else. So what's pshat? Why can we go and spend 2 hours a day on this and that and clips and stuff and whatever? Why? Because we convince ourselves that we need it and need it. I need it. It's mental health. I'm going to have a breakdown. I don't know what I could do. Can't be capable. I'm not responsible for my actions if I can't do that. Right? We convince ourselves that like we absolutely need to do that. Make a cheshbon of how much time you spend on all the things in your day. And then tell me that you absolutely have no time for 4 minutes out of your way to give somebody a ride. Doesn't make any sense. Of course we have time. We just convince ourselves that we don't. It's part of, I don't mean this in a harsh way. It's part of the way that we lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves. You know, Rabbi Berkowitz, talk about him a lot because he's a very impressive man. The story goes that I heard was that Rabbi Berkowitz the people are coming to him with really complex shilas, and anywhere he goes, there's always something. His day is like, I remember once I found a time that he didn't have anybody with him. It was one time before Mincha, he used to walk from his apartment to the kollel, so it was like a 3-minute walk. So I hacked that idea. Like I got a lot of time with him like that, because I used to wait, and then he would open the door, and I would say, "Oh, great, okay," and I would just pick up a conversation, and that's how I got a lot of time with him. After shir, he has 3-minute meetings, and then he has 15-minute meetings, and then somebody would walk him home. And if he's getting driven somewhere, there's a person, and then every second is a cheshbon. And I had that time, the walk from his house to the kollel, until somebody else followed me once, and then it became a whole thing. So they made that an official walk, and then I lost that spot. But I had it for a very, very long time. And literally every minute is accounted for. And the story goes that many years ago, he felt like his own learning was, I don't even want to say the word suffering. It wasn't suffering. But like, from the second he's davening shachar, people coming over and they're asking him questions and being shayal eitzah and whatever else. He felt like, so he went to Rav Elyashiv and he said, like, it's very hard. People coming over all the time. So he said, okay, so you have to get up earlier. So he said, get up earlier. Already daven vasikin, and I'm already like learning for like an hour before vasikin or whatever his schedule was. So you have to get up earlier. It's like, but how early could you get up? You have to get up earlier. Right? It's known, like Rav Elyashiv used to get up, I think, at either 1:30 or 2 a.m. That's when he used to start his day. To get up earlier. You have to find time for yourself, for your learning. There's no such thing as I don't have time if it's really important to you. If again, many people here are women, there's men listening, right? If a man needs to find time to learn, you find time to learn. If a man needs to find time, or somebody needs to find time for chesed, you'll find time. What happens when somebody all of a sudden has somebody who's sick or somebody who really needs them? You just figure it out. When somebody says, I don't have time, it's usually them saying, I don't feel that this is nasa v'nishma. I don't feel that this is burning and essential. I must do this. I don't feel that feeling. Okay, so that's a different question. How do I internalize that? But to say I don't have time, everybody has time for something. You have time to eat breakfast and read a newspaper. You have time to check the news, what's going on in the world. You know who the Speaker of the House is. You know how many times it took. If you know that information, you have time to daven. How is it possible you know the politics of what's going on, things that will never ever affect you, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't have time to talk to your Creator. How does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense. Because we find time for things, but we don't find time for things that are really, really important.